Hey buddies, SomeNutzGuy here. Hope you're having an awesome day so far, and welcome back for more Dark and Darker. In this video, we're going to earn 4,000 gold in just one run. Now, unfortunately, being the silly boy that I am, I failed to properly set up my Twitch VOD track in OBS, so we have no sound whatsoever. So we're going to be giving you a nice ASMR narrator style voiceover with some nice music in the background as well. Hopefully you enjoy. Let's go. SomeNutzGuy, grab gaming by the nuts. As you can see, we're getting geared up in some pretty average gear, pretty low tier gear. We try our luck from the Goblin Merchant on Lightfoot boots, and as per usual with the Goblin Merchant, it doesn't work out for us. Buy ourselves a cheeky bow here, not a bad blue, for a couple hundred G's. Some extra traps because we're going to be playing relatively safely and securely, and a few extra arrows as well. Buy ourselves a luck potion. We're going to be going into High Roller Goblin Caves, and we want that extra juicy luck. In the lobby, we're testing out our damage to see what kind of damage numbers we're putting out for a headshot. 73, 74, not too bad. And then we go around checking the gear, the loot on all the various players, all of our enemies in the dungeon. This is actually something that's a really good idea to do, whether it be in solos or teams, because it can give you an idea of who you might want to avoid. Like this feller, he's a cleric, he's well geared, he's got rings and a cape. Usually a good hallmark for a geared player, rings and a cape. And because he's a cleric, he doesn't have that much gear that is particularly useful for me. Obviously I can sell it, but I can't use it. So I might want to avoid him if I see him. This rogue, however, is very geared up, and that's quite sketchy. I'm in the top corner there saying, I don't know if I really want to fight this guy. However, I do want his gear. It'd be pretty useful. So that's it's good information to have going into the dungeon. Now on High Roller, I just want to be clearing out PvE and getting loot. I've got my luck potion. I'm wanting to just loot as many chests as possible, kill as many monsters as possible. I kind of want to avoid PvP where possible, but we want to take things very safely, not slowly though, because obviously the faster we can do things, the more things we can loot. But safe speed is the name of the game here for us. This is quite a nice spawn for this, to be honest. We're in the top right corner of the map. There's a spawn or two that is more central to the map, and it feels like you always get into early PvP situations. Even if you try and duck out of your spawn room, it being in the middle, there's pretty much people in all the outside rooms at that point. So it can be a tough spawning in the middle. So we got a really nice spawn here. I actually quite like this room. It's easy to clear. There's a decent number of chests, and if you clear it quick enough and you have enough time given the zone, there's a secret spot where you can open a lever and have a couple of nice big chests there as well. So we put a trap there. We heard some shenanigans going on in the next room along, which is unsurprising because there's people spawning pretty much in every room. But we're playing safely here. So we have 4 traps overall. We trapped that doorway just in case anyone tries to come in behind us, and continue to clear out the rest of the mobs that we can. Given that the zone is pressing on us, we're pressed for time here, so we're trying to be as quick as possible. Get a nice ring off this guy. Nothing amazing, but courage rings are always nice. That strength is good for damage and the HP bonus. Nice rondel dagger that we can definitely sell from that chest there. And continuing to clear out our starting room. And honestly, in these high roller dungeons, you get your luck potion. Each room has enough stuff going on that you can probably spend a good portion of time in there, making sure you're looting everything. Unless, of course, you want to play super progressive and go for the PvP, in which case you're just going to be hunting players, which is also a viable strategy. But I haven't done much Goblin Caves High Roller, so I'm still learning the map here. So we did want to play it a little bit more careful. We removed our trap to come into this room from the backside, so instead of appearing in the middle or closer to the center of the map, we come from the backside, keep that zone on our back, play it safe. And we get a really nice portal spawning there, which is really comfortable. And we hear some shenanigans going over on this next room now. So again, we're playing safe, popping the trap down, turning the light off so they don't see the trap if they open the door, and continuing to go about our business looting. And in High Roller, even the crates and barrels can have some pretty decent loot. So we're going to crack all these open, see what we can find. We got a blue there. We also got another green treasure. And then we hear stuff going on in the middle room. Now that's not surprising because this is the middle room. There's always PvP going on in there. We're in the zone here. This is probably viewed as a relatively safe room, assuming there's no one in it. Which of course there is. So we're pretty certain that there's going to be something going on here. We hear some footsteps. We hear some shenanigans. So we're just biding our time. We don't want to make too much noise and tip off anyone that we're here, make them a little bit more concerned. Maybe if they're more concerned, they'll notice the trap because they're being a bit more tentative. Nothing seems to come of it though. So we go back to looting. We want to maximize our loot time. But then we hear things going on again in the next room. Just assessing our situation. Chilling out, getting our triple shot ready. Boom. Rogue steps in, steps on the trap, gets stuck, and that might just be one of the freest kills of our life. Now, I'm pretty certain he was running away from someone. I did hear multiple footsteps going on out there and a bit of a fight. He was probably weak from fight there. So first thing we do is get another trap down and protect that entranceway. We got the trap on the other door as well, and the other entrances to this room are in the zone. So we can feel very comfortable about looting here. One mistake I see people making frequently is that they get loot greedy, especially when they know they've killed someone highly geared like this, which I did because obviously we checked people in the lobby, and it was obviously the highly geared rogue we saw, which is absolutely perfect. Now here we back off because we hear someone coming from up to the door there, but they hear us and decide not to come in and take that fight. But it's always a good idea if you end up low health from a fight, if you can trap a doorway, anything that you can do prior to looting to make sure that your situation is a little bit more comfortable so you can loot in safety is highly recommended. Now we're doing a little bit of Tetris. We're reviewing what we can drop to pick up some of these things. It's actually always a good idea to have a good idea of what loot you have in your inventory to know what you can drop if you see better items. So arranging your inventory from height, having a certain system. So you put your high value items to the right or the left or however you want to do it. Having that system is a really good idea so that when you're in a tense looting situation, you got to be quick. You know how to loot quickly. You know what you can drop to make space for better items. And just having that all in mind is a good idea. So we got our treasures sold. A good amount of money coming from those treasures off to the market to try and sell these other bits and pieces. Starting with this Marauder's outfit that has +3 strength. So that's a pretty good roll for a green. We can sell that for a good amount. I think I put it on there for 500. It's always good to highball in the market because people often try to negotiate you down, and you can always just reduce the price every 10 seconds or 20 seconds, every couple of posts to see if you can get the most out of it. So I put it up for 500. This guy said 400 ? I was like, yeah, sure, fine. That's fine. No worries. That always happens. And I don't like the trade system. I hate spending time in here. So I usually just accept it, which is a good tip for you guys as well. If you want it, you can probably just try and knock off 50 to 100 gold in most of your trades. Got the blue rondel dagger selling for 200 gold there. And moving on to the epic shadow mask. Now this doesn't have the best rolls, but shadow masks often sell pretty well because they've got the innate +1 all attributes. So they do sell very, very well. Even greens sell for a relatively decent price because of that +1 all. I put it up. He negotiates a slightly cheaper price. I'm like, sure, yeah, go ahead. And we get a whopping 700 gold for that, which is very nice. Moving on to the epic rapier. Also not the best rolls, but purple weapons usually sell well because those purple weapon damage numbers. I could use it myself as well, but for how much we can sell this for, we could get a couple of really nice bows, which is obviously a lot more valuable. Homie here offers a golden key. And we're like, you know what? Why not? We'll take it. He declines the trade. Rip. Now, bearing in mind, we probably could get a little bit more for some of these items. We're kind of just selling quickly, and most of these trades happened within 30 seconds of posting them for the first time. And we get a gold key from this feller, which is pretty nice. So we're off to sell the golden key to see how much we can get for that. At the time of this, keys were selling for relatively cheap. I think they're only selling for 800-900 gold, maybe 1,000. So we're going to offload that and hope for yeah, at least 800 gold, which we end up getting from this feller here. Very nice indeed. An extra 800 gold to add to the coffers. Next up on the list, we have these epic Lightfoot boots. Again, I could potentially use these, but I think they might be better for me to sell and look to get something else instead. And I kind of also just wanted to see how much gold we would actually get from this run here. Managed to sell these for a nice 400 gold. And I think I put them up for 500. I had a little negotiation there. Finally, we have the ring. Now this ring is pretty nice, and rings do sell for a lot. So we put this up for 900 gold or 1 key. Didn't really mind which way it went. And homie here just slaps in the cash. After a small negotiation, he asked if he could do it for 800. I said sure, as to be honest I usually do. And that's another 800 gold for the coffers. Just before we started this run, we had 1,001 gold, and we now have 4,336. Wouldn't even fit in my stash, and I know my stash is horrible right now. It was really, really bad. So we do a little bit of stash sorting. Now I know there's someone that's going to be like, but nuts, you said you made 4,000 gold in one run. Well, my friends, I would estimate the value of the items that we didn't sell. We have a nice cape there, epic gloves. There's something else, maybe the necklace. There's also another necklace or two that we picked up that we didn't bother trying to sell. Ultimately, all that stuff is worth at least 700 gold based on the prices that things were selling at when I recorded this video. Now, it is worth noting that this wasn't too long before the first wipe, so prices were probably getting a little high because people figured they're not going to be able to hold on to their cash for long, so they might as well spend it for some good stuff. Prices did get a little bit wild in the last couple of days before the wipe. Post-wipe, you probably wouldn't have gotten this much for these items with the rolls that they got, but it would still be worth a nice amount. Now, ultimately, I didn't have to work too hard for this. It was just really some looting and a single kill. And that really is the situation with this game. Sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes you get unlucky. Sometimes you just need one kill to make 4,000 gold. But if you don't play carefully, you don't play cleverly, you might not be able to get that kill. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the narrator style voiceover. I do this on my 100 days videos sometimes, and if I am a silly boy and mess up audio somehow, which has happened in the past. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more, consider subscribing. And it's always great to see you guys in the comments. Hope you have an awesome rest of your day. Take care.